Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King, and today I'm going to be giving you part 7 of What If Naruto Found the Shinigami Weapons. Remember to get this to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Treated Like Gaara and enjoy that guys. And remember, for you and this is the first time you hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support, and yeah, remember to also stay tuned for a brand new episode coming over in Making 3, which I hope you guys enjoy. So without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Let's get right into this guys. Start the intro. So the last time we left off, they went to a town not too far away from the hidden rock, as they were searching for an assailant that was able to turn himself into Peep with a clay release. Arriving there, people were acting rather strange. As Naruto asked about the assailant, they got rather skittish as he wondered what was going on. They kept on moving and walking around as they started to gather some information, but they were really not getting a lot because everyone was too afraid to speak what they actually want to say. That is when a young child arrived with an explosive note. The group was shielded, but the explosive note went off in a massive explosion. The child then reformed back out of clay, shocking everyone, showing that he was one of those. No, he was not the only one. To their horror and shock, the entire town the man had taken over, as he kept on sending his clay warriors after them. They weren't that strong, but it was a lot of them, as the group fought with everything they had to push back this severe, overnumbered. Kurasuke came up with the idea as she created a clone with a lot of her chakra she passed out. Naruto caught her. So with that, she sent the clone behind and she performed the explosion release technique. She was swallowed by the clay as she exploded, blowing everything to smithereens. As with that, they returned back towards the village. Oniki was shocked that they actually found him, and not to mention that he was finally dead, and the entire village had been wiped away in the explosion. Kurasuke had come a long way with the explosion release, almost catching up to Deidara in some regards. Despite her being younger, she was getting there quite well. With that, some time passed as Naruto was giving some surprising news. Because of the way things were set, in the Hidden Stone you could not pass the title on to family. There were two things. First was a political marriage with the other villages, to sign a form of trust with them and the other villages. And he wanted Naruto to take over as the Tishikage. No, that Naruto was shocked by that, he couldn't believe it. Out of all people, him. As he was given some time to think over the option, he was in no rush. So with that, the time finally came as they made their way towards the Land of Iron, where Naruto got to see the daughter of Mifune once again. But his past came back to bite him in the ass as he saw Fu and everyone there, all of the girls they came there. As Naruto also ran into the teams from Konoha, who were rather upset that he just went off like that. But Naruto showed once again that he was not the same person that he once was, shocking them. As Shikamaru found the whole thing rather troublesome, as Naruto had changed a lot, but they were the only ones that knew right now. The other people from Konoha did not know. Not to mention Naruto leaving caused a civil war, so when the news got out it was gonna be bad. All the girls then converged on him as Kurasuke was pissed off. Naruto fled as he met up with the team from Kumo. It seems Oniki was already talking to their leader about the union between the villages. As Naruto talked to them, they were rather nice people as he got to know them. So with that, he made his way back as he explained to the stone team about what Oniki told him, as it would be good if he kept it to himself right now. Haku and Kurasuke would be his shadow advisors, standing at his side to make sure the village remains at afloat. Haku made a joke about that as Naruto pestered him back. So yeah, that was basically it. But Kurosaki laid claim on him before the others did. It was time as she was tired of not really taking her chance, and she told him that they were going out now. As Naruto liked her a lot, but his oblivious attitude never let him focus on anything. So with that, the group all got ready next morning as Mifune called attention to all the people there. As today was going to be the exams, the Land of Iron exam were said to be a lot stronger and more dangerous than all the other nations, so they better be careful. So yeah guys, that was basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourself. So, what do you say begin this new episode? Today, you face one of two tests that you will take in my country, Mifune said. But first, let me explain something. The Chunin exams were created for one purpose only, to replace the need for war, and while it is usually an exam to keep up neutrality, it is more so in our country because we play a neutral role in this world. That is unless a global threat is about, and that is when we step in. Just remember that. Seeing that his words sunk in, he gestured towards a small house behind him. This house is where the first exam will be held. I know it looks like a normal building, but you are ninjas, you should know. Looks can be deceiving. The true building is underground. This building will be your exam. What's so great about it? A random Jonin asks. As Mifune smirked at that. The simple fact is, it is one big maze of horror. In there you will face your fears and battle each other to get out alive. You have 24 hours to do so, but it won't be that easy. You need 4 keys to escape the horrors. The key of the mind, the key of the body, the key of the soul, and the key of the heart. You need all of these to be recognized as a true ninja or samurai in my country. Each team were given 2 keys when they enter our village, but we did not explain what they were for. You were just told to keep them with you while you were in the village. Now, you all know, as many of the teams start to, act up. That was the first true test to see if they follow simple instructions and kept the keys with them. To all of you who don't have your keys, out of my village before the sun sets. You have failed the first true test as a soldier. And as a soldier, you need to know how to follow orders to the letter, or you will die. There were shouts of outrage, but there was not much he could do as they left. There were still quite a few teams left though. Now enter the labyrinth, and face the challenge to become true warriors, said Mifune as they all stepped into the house of horror. Time skip. As soon as Naruto and his team stepped inside, darkness swallowed them up, as they were in a cave-like area. Now where are we? It looks like a cave, Haku said, as he glanced around. So I guess we have to fight others in this place to get out. But I'm more worried about the danger of this place. Mifune wasn't too forthcoming, said Kurosaki, as she glanced around. Well, there's no point waiting here for what to kill us. Let's go, said Naruto. The place was incredibly cold and quiet. Something was definitely off. They spotted another area up ahead, and they saw blood on the walls. It was then a roar could be heard. Haku spun around. That came from behind us, he said. Great. We stay here and face whatever made that sound, or we move forward and take what made those blood patterns, said Kurosaki as she pulled a kunai. Man, they really make us hit the ground running this exam, don't they, said Naruto. I say we push on though, not like we can go anywhere else at the moment. Right, they said, as they made their way. The place then shook violently, confusing them, as they were now in a desert-like area. Labyrinth indeed, said Naruto, as he glared at the big labyrinth. So that is what Mifune meant. The dangers of each area was critical, and they changed. As Naruto was confused seeing that Haku and Kurosaki was so quiet, so he turned towards them, as they were frozen in shock. Why? Because in front of them were the 3 mangled and bloody corpses of a Konoha team. It was badly ravaged. As Naruto did not recognize the bodies, so there was a bit of relief. But whatever did this was still around. What could have done this, said Naruto. I don't know, but their faces are melted off, almost like they were burned right off, said Haku. This is just horrible. Where's the bastard that did this, said Kurosaki. She didn't care that they were Konoha ninja. If you were gonna fight to kill someone, why would you mangle their body like this? That was just unbefitting. A voice burst out laughing, as it swallowed the area with laugh. Ask and you shall receive, as the old saying goes. I am so lucky today as they turned to see a man. First that one team, and now you three. As Naruto looked towards a new person, he was a lanky man that was completely bald. There were also strange black tribal tattoos on his scalp. He didn't really have clothes, just brown rags. His tongue was out like a dog, and if Naruto was seen right, his saliva was burned in the ground. What the hell? Ah, so they're going the Chunin exams again, if I am correct in the assumption that you all are ninjas. Too bad you found me. What's so great about you, said Naruto. The man chuckled. The chuckle turned into a full-blown laughter. My god, they never tell you brats anything, do they? Originally, this place was a prison for people all over the world. I myself, I'm a serial killer, known as the Acid Burn. I find it rather ironic this place is the era where I committed my very first murder. My own home. However, what is really odd is that the people of this country knew I was from another continent. So this is one of the horrors that Mifune spoke about, Haku said, a little bit nervous. Who the hell cares? Let's kick this guy's ass. I'm already tired of him, said Kurosaki. She had to deal with this type of crap before and it was already getting old. Alright, but be careful, said Naruto as he brought up his hood. His spit seemed to be acidic. Oh, very keen eyes you have there, boy. But let us see if you little ninjas can deal with me. Or will you die like the rest? Let us begin, shall we? Haku began his senbons. There was no need for a sword in his battle. Ice release. Nitro rain. The senbons became frozen and far more deadly as acid twisted his body. But one of them hit his foot and it froze. Huh. You are no low-level ninjas, that for sure. Normally my victims don't react fast enough, he said. His tone was rather serious. You fool. We're far above the level of a normal genin, said Kurosaki. Well, it doesn't matter, he says. He grabbed his frozen foot and tore it off, shocking them. I guess I'll have to step it up for once. Step. Acid fracture. He spat on his removed feet as he launched it towards them. It shattered on impact, sending pieces of his foot everywhere. As Naruto brought out his claws and blocked all of them, protecting his teammates from harm. As his claws started to sting them, the acid was strong as he flicked them to remove it. I see now, so that's your plan. Your whole body is made of acid. Huh, scary. He would even sacrifice his own body to kill us for his pleasure. But how would he get them back, Naruto thought to himself, as he saw bite marks on the Konoha ninja's body. He ate them. Damn. Ah, so you noticed, little blonde. Once I eat my victims, I can regrow my lost limbs. So it doesn't matter what you do to me. You all will end up like them at the end of the day. As he screamed in glee. Yeah, that's true, said Naruto, as acid moved forward. But you know something, said Naruto as he brought to the claws of Hades. There is something that you can't grow back. This battle is futile. Just be quiet so I can kill you, said Acid. As Naruto shot forward. Acid held out his arms. To him, pain meant nothing. But as soon as Naruto drove the claw into him, he felt a different kind of pain. The pain of something gripping his soul tightly and twisting it. He screamed out in agonizing pain. As Naruto's body took on a horrible, demonic look, he became a specter of death. As acid was frozen, the contact of the claw and seeing Naruto as a dead god himself, it frightened him. But it did not last for too long as Naruto tore out his soul. But unlike Itachi, Naruto did not absorb it, he released it. As Naruto tore the soul apart, Acid Burn fell, his head hitting the ground first. Dead. As Haku walked over, people like him don't deserve to live. The world is better off without him. I guess so. But now we have to search his body for a key. By the way, what key do we have? Asked Naruto blink. I never checked. Idiot, said Kurosaki. As Naruto pulled out the key. Okay, we have body and heart. That means we need soul and mind. They had soul and body, Haku said. Cool, we have an extra. And all we really need is one more, said Naruto. Right, let's get the hell out of here. This place is giving me the creeps, said Kurosaki. Time skip. They had walked a little while and they ended back in the cave area. Luckily they did not run into that monster that had roared before. However, they did notice blood on the wall. Hey, this cave wasn't as big last time, said Naruto as he glanced around. You have a point, perhaps. We're in a different cave area, said Haku. Well, wherever we are, there are 2 routes this time, said Kurosaki as she pointed towards the 2 exits. Let's go right, said Naruto. His teammates just shrugged. As they arrived to a forest setting, and Naruto found a team there, a Konoha team. Sasuke, he said. As Sasuke turned, Naruto, he said, his face shifting into a cocky smile. Good. I guess we get to finally see who is stronger now, Sasuke said. Well, I can spoil it for you quickly, said Naruto. It's me. Sasuke smirked. Doubtfully, he said. Boom! A strange explosion went off. Their battle was put on hold as the place shifted. What the hell? As everyone glanced around, the person shifted as they were sent to a different location. As Naruto glanced around, it wasn't as strange. Iron place. They soon found themselves in another house setting that they made that same acid freak in. It seems like the very same house but another floor altogether. It seems like they didn't move even far. But they had not run into any other team yet, except for Team 7, who was shifted away because of the place. This place was a big changing maze. And once again the place was quiet. Way too quiet for their tastes. They didn't hear the noise. It sounded like a mix between a fire and wind jutsu, combining together. It came so quick. A giant machine exploded from under the woodwork. It gripped Naruto by the leg and jumped off. As a canister opened its back and launched a strange kind of missile towards Haku and Kurosaki. The place exploded as they fell. As Naruto's eyes saw something, it seems so complex. He saw everything at once. He didn't know what just happened, but he saw the labyrinth. He saw all areas of this place, and it was so large. And this thing was bringing him right into the middle of the labyrinth, far away from his friends. The thing twisted its arm and threw him as Naruto broke through a building. He landed with a grunt as he winced in pain. He got up and shook his head. The building he crashed into was nothing like what he was used to. It was miles higher than what he was used to. At least that is what he thought anyway. A large metal building that reached up to the sky with an absurd amount of glass windows. In fact, there was more of them, all around him. This was some village, alright. Hell, it was probably more than that. He just didn't know what to call it. He then turned to see his attacker once again. What the hell? It was a large metal humanoid boar. That was all he could really describe it as. Red and black paint in all the right places to make the creature look as scary as hell. Okay, said Naruto. Just what or who the hell are you? You will speak to me with more respect, child of sin. The voice was male and raspy, sounded metallic. Well, I have no idea who you are, so I really don't have any reason to respect you. It is earned. Wait, what the hell do you mean, child of sin? You are a child of the sin spread through this country. A child who uses the body for forbidden energy, the very energy that only gods possess, that they use to judge and determine our fate. Who told you that load of crap, said Naruto. We of my land, the land free of the poison that you have with your body, teach everyone these simple rules. I was sent here to exterminate your kind with my army, but your primitive ancestors fought back, not caring of their terrible sin. You destroyed my army. Me, the great General Oro. I was the last to survive the battle with your sinful kind, both called ninja and samurai alike. For that I was sent to this ever-changing prison as my punishment. I seek to relieve myself of this place, while killing off every sinful ninja that comes down here to take the Chunin exams. However, you boy, I caught your injury and knew I had to destroy you. Yours is vastly more impressive than the simple insect sent to this place. Oh, and what's so special about me that I need a welcome like this? You are like the first one that we sent to this lands, the one that failed to destroy the great beast of sin and was changed for it. The one you people call the Sage of Six Paths. He took the great beast of sin inside himself, the ultimate sin, and for that, you and the rest of humanity shall pay for it. And you, one of those beast hellspawn that he split, you have it in your body. So no, I'm a Jinjuliki. Well, I didn't ask to be made a Jinjuliki, said Naruto. My dad sealed it within inside of me, minutes after I was born. And just so you know, we're not always seen as equal humans in our land. Sometimes we're just seen as weapons. The boar seemed to calm down. The face split open to show a rather fat guy inside. He actually looked sad. I am sorry, young one, he said, for the higher ups in this land to bind you like that. It is truly horrible, but you still commit the great sin, and you will still have to perish for it. I will aid you by putting you out of your misery, quickly and painlessly, as I can. The face closed up as the hand shifted. Strange cylinders. What the hell were those things supposed to do? Move! The Kyuubi said in his mind. Naruto leaped. The where he stood exploded. Well, that's new, he said. Idiot, those things are a form of guns. Things that shoot high-speed projectiles. Use those ninja senses of yours to see the damn weapons and dodge them. He would ask the fox later how he knew about this, but he had no time right now as he landed in a handstand and flipped back, dodging, as the place was being ripped apart and destroyed. Die, the machine said. The mouth of the machine opened up to reveal another cylinder, but this one was a far, far larger one. It shot a massive beam of energy where he once stood, tearing apart the ground. Stop fighting, boy. I am trying to save you. Like hell you are, said Naruto as he flipped back. Scorch release. Rising sun. As Naruto launched the thing right towards the cannon, it hit and exploded as the flames washed over it. Naruto paused when he saw the man standing there laughing. Okay, what the hell? Foolish child. I came here prepared. How do you think I survived this long? I created a device that my superiors believe were unnecessary. It negates all chakra and stop your elemental attacks, meaning you cannot touch me with them. Oh crap, said Naruto, as he watched the boar man move towards him. Well, that was bad. Meanwhile, Haku and Kurosaki had fell into a strange area. The floor was bouncy. It looked like another cave setting, but the bouncy material was all over, and it was all white. They had no idea what the hell was underneath. You okay, Kurosaki? Haku asked. I'll live, but we need to find Naruto and get the hell out of this place. It's really starting to piss me off. I agree, Haku said as he glanced around, as he felt a shiver went down his spine. Something was wrong with this place. The feeling was off, as Kurosaki felt it as well. As someone then spoke with a strange accent. It was weird, off-putting. So, you have come to my prison. I guess that means you have to die as well. A man stood there in a strange but heavily cracked armor. It looked old and worn down, and he was wearing a hockey-like mask that was broken near to the right eye, letting them see part of his old face. His black hair long and messy as it went down his shoulders. The most notable feature was his choice of weapons. On his wrists were two long whip-like devices. You mind telling us who you are, buddy? Kurosaki asked. The man chuckled, but his voice was old and raspy. I have not used my name in a very long time. You may call me Anton Vanco, or you may call me Whiplash, as lightning crackled on the whips. That's new, Haku said, as he reached for some senbons. Kurosaki pulled on kunais. They knew they had to fight as the both of them made the first move and rushed forward. The man scoffed. He may be old, but he could take on a couple of teenagers. Ducking under their well-placed strikes he sent his electrified whips at them. Haku leaped in between them, dodging each of them as they crackled and whipped the ground. Haku cursed he had to drop his senbon. The whips were generating so much heat they burned up them. That was not good. Kurosaki was not that lucky, but it was most of the area. The ground was bouncy, as she bounced a bit too high. The man lashed out the whip as it whipped around her. She cried out in pain as it whipped her arm and she fell to the ground. It was immensely painful. Haku suspected this area was going to be dead of them if this battle kept on going on in here. The man was quite used to it. He needed to do something before it's too late. You realize you can't beat me, correct? My whips would be your undoing. Screw you, said Kurosaki as she got back up. You really have a mouth on you, girl. Maybe that is what I should strike next. Huh, you can try. But what makes you so great and terrible that they send you down here? Higher level ninjas could easily kick your old ass. She knew that Haku had a plan, so she was stalling for him. As she saw him, out of the corner of her eye, preparing something, he glanced up towards the ceiling with one visible eye. Seemed to be lost in thought. Not much. Just trying to kill the last member of a family of thieves and liars. I used this to try and kill them. And the tech of another rival of his. Both time I lost. The second time, I almost blew myself up. Well, I did, but the armor took most of the damage, and still yet I survived somehow. My body was badly scarred. I was treated and thrown back into prison, but I was still alive, and I could try again. So I did, and I was chased into lands quite more savage than this. It was all a blur until I found myself here, trapped in the ever-changing prison for years. Well, karma is a bitch, and I look like one, Haku said. He flashed you hand sign, ice release, heavy, nitro dagger. The ear got dry. As a dagger. Not really much of a dagger, though it looked more like Zabuza's old blade, which was something he could have used, but he chose not to. He was not even sure if this was going to work anyway, but he had to try. It then pierced the bouncy material and went straight on through. They didn't hear it hit the ground, they heard it hit something far worse. The scream of some strange animal. Some animal was beneath them. As it then died down, the animal, perhaps dying. The ground then started to tremble. As there was another screech of that same animal, sounding quite ferocious and angry. It was then that thousands of small spiders rushed out of the hole made by the dagger. That is when all of Haku bravado was replaced by childish fears. Spiders! Kill them! Kill them now! He said as he ran around shaking his arms, in fear and panic. You must be joking. Anton said in disbelief. Okay, this is just getting real weird, said Kurosaki. She never knew that Haku got like this with spiders. But she smirked, she had some dirt on him now. I just hope that blonde idiot is doing better than we are. The ground then broke apart as they started to fall. Beneath them, hundreds of larger spiders. Over to the side. What the hell is going on? Haku said as all the spiders turned their attention towards them. Stupid boy. You got their attention, Anton said. Ah, it's been such a long time since we had the flesh of humans. We had to resort to eating each other for sustenance. All the spiders parted to show. A large one seemed to be the boss. Who or what are you? Anton said. He was clearly not afraid. I have forgotten my name. It's been such a long time. However, I do remember my old caretaker's name though. He was a gentle soul who loved monsters like me. His name was Hagrid. Sounds like a fool, Anton said. Now if you don't mind, I have a couple of kids to get rid of, he said. The spider family did not take kindly to their master being insulted, as they all pounced on him. He tried to whip them, but the numbers were too overwhelming as they got onto him and started to rip the metal apart like it was tissue paper as they tore off his armor. Despite the agony and the pain, he never screamed. Instead, he simply laughed as he was ripped apart. You lose, he said, looking towards Kurosaki and Haku. Yeah, we're screwed, said Kurosaki, as they watched the spiders devour the men. Meanwhile, that was going on, as Naruto was currently. His head was through a building. He gripped the side of the building as he pulled his head out. He shook his head, clearing the cobwebs. There was a foldable shield on his arm. The boar man had switched the weapons up. On his left hand, he had turned it into a kind of machine gun type, which fired rapidly. And on the other hand, there was a massive cleaver blade. And due to the chakra stopping that he was using, Naruto was having a hard time getting to this freak. But Naruto's shield was incredibly tough. As he blocked the shots with the shield, he ran up the building. As the sword came down and cleaved where he was, as he flipped and landed on it, he flipped away as more shots came at him. As Naruto used the momentum to flip, he then pushed himself out of mid-air right down towards the sword arm, before he stabbed with his claw and jumped towards the gun arm and slashed at it, flipping down towards the ground. So you can fight for real, said Ro, as he stomped the ground, breaking it, forcing Naruto to jump. He then latched out and grabbed him and threw him, as Naruto was tossed into another building. It is good to know that you don't only rely on your unholy powers. You cannot hide from me! As Naruto did not come out of the building, I know that you're not dead. Who the hell said I'm hiding? As Ro looked up to see Naruto coming down, there were spikes on his shield as he started to spin it. As he came down in a tornado-like fashion, Reaper fall, he yelled. What the hell, said Ro. As Naruto was moving at terminal velocity, Ro had no chance. So he did the one thing he could do, move a bit to the right. That saved his life as Naruto's claws and the shield with spikes ripped through the machine gun first, tearing the entire shoulder off. As Ro roared out in anger, the sword vanished as he cradled the left side of his body. Despite the shredded metal, what he cared about though was his human parts. His real shoulder had been torn into and he was bleeding quite badly. You little bastard! I'll kill you! You asked for it, said Naruto. But let's see who put who down first, said Naruto. I think this fight is over. A booming voice rang out. As Ro paused. Shit. The warden, he said. The warden, said Naruto. Meanwhile, despite Haku's fears of spiders, it got him to, well, move rather quickly as he launched Senbons. He was killing by the dozen, but they seem unending. Kurosaki started to release small explosives, blowing them to pieces. Haku, we're gonna have to use one of our new collaboration jutsu. Which one? The explosive one, said Kurosaki. Whatever, let's just get rid of these spiders fast. They start to go through hand signs, ice style, lava style. Hot and cold pressure. Steam started to rise from where they made contact. The spiders all rushed in. Pressure release. All the pressure released outwards in a massive explosion. When it stopped, Haku and Kurosaki were on their knees. They had fortified themselves with chakra to protect them from backlash. That's why we have Naruto for the combination, Kurosaki said. Please tell me we got them, Haku said. Most, but not all. But this is where you die for harming my family! The giant smoking spider said, as he was still alive. Then two larger spiders rose. Not as large as him, but they rose beside him. My strongest children will help me as well. Haku screamed in fear, as Kurosaki cursed in anger and rage. As the things were just coming back from underneath. How much of them were they? They would just waste their chakra on these damn things. They had infested and lived down in this place. As she then saw, Haku, make an ice bridge towards that, already on it. His voice sounded rather distant. She then turned. That little bitch. As he was already running away, she started to chase after him as she ran on the ice bridge. Meanwhile, with Naruto, there stood the warden. He was a tall man. He had rather lean build. He seemed to be middle-aged. He looked rather pissed off. Long ragged black hair with brown highlights. A strange white dress shirt with strange upturned cuffs. He was wearing black pants with low heel boots with a long overcoat that flared out behind him. He was also wearing sunglasses. So do I have to fight you as well? No, young ninja. I am the warden of this prison, and I am a little surprised that the current leader of the samurais is using my idea for Chunin exams. I was the first to implement it after all. Who are you? Said Naruto. My name is Zangetsu, and I was the original leader of the samurais. Before you ask how that is possible, it's quite simple. We don't age in here. Me and the prisoner stay in here. Forever. What? Said Naruto. Screw you, old man. I was doing this child a favor and killing this kind, said Ro. The man disappeared. He then reappeared over to the side. As Naruto noticed, he was holding a massive cleaver in his hand that was now soaked in blood. Your people are rather stupidly intolerant. The boar then burst into a bloody mess. Holy shit, you are good, said Naruto. Thank you, but shouldn't you be getting to your team? Oh right, said Naruto. Before he could move though, he heard screaming from above. As he saw Haku run down the ice-made bridge, Kurosaki behind him looking mad as hell. That's your team. Yeah, but they look like they went through hell, said Naruto. Wonder what happened. I can guess. I forgot that Aruga was in here. As he pointed towards the spiders. Wow, you guys look like you went through hell and back. Are you guys okay, said Naruto. Spiders, 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 Haku said. Yeah, what he said, he was brave against some man that was waving some whip around. But then he saw the spiders and he turned into a little bitch. We had to explode the era that we were in to survive the spider attacks. She stepped over. You're a bit bloody as well, she said. Well, you should see the other guy. As she glanced over towards Ro. Holy shit, she shouted. Yeah, I didn't finish him though, said Naruto. The warden did. Hey, the spiders are coming, said Naruto. Haku screamed. You three have fought enough. I'll take care of this, then guide you on your way. All I want to do is to get back to sleep. The warden said as he watched the spiders coming down. He raised his blade as a massive beam of energy came out of it and obliterated the spiders. You're my hero, Haku said. That's nice. Now I assume that you three have the mind, body, and soul keys. They nodded. Then you need not search for the last. All you need is a knowledge on how to acquire the final key. Everyone needs a mind and a body and a soul to live. But to survive as a warrior, a samurai, a ninja alike, you need heart. As Naruto and the others pulled out their keys, and it formed together the kanji for heart. It then started to glow, before it thrust down into the ground and turned, as it was a clicking sound. The ground then rise and rise and rise and rise, until they came up to the top. Welcome back, as Mifune and Misa was standing there, with a smile on their faces. Time skip. Naruto Saizi sat in a stand area, where the other Chunins and the rest of them were residing. As soon as they complete the House of Horror, they were all rounded up for the preliminaries. No sleep. Of course, those who had left early, well, they could rest before the exam came to an end. But those who left late or on their last legs, the arena was indoors, so they were not out in the cold. Mifune did say the final exam would be out in the open, so yeah, they will have to experience the cold of the Iron Country. These preliminaries were not what they were expecting though. He thought they were going to be one-on-one fights. Yeah, while that existed, there was also some strange rules. They could be one-on-one battles, but there also could be a team versus a team mix with a single team member. There were many different combinations that were set up for the preliminaries, as certain teams went down there first and they started to fight. As Naruto's mind was on something else though. Flashback. When they came out of the House of Horror. Why, hello there, said Misa. Her smile looked calm, however there's something seemed off. That was fun and all, but please tell me that we passed, said Naruto. Yes, you all passed. And guessing from your reactions, you didn't know how long you've been in there. How long, Haku asked. 4 hours, Mifune said. Oh, what? Seemed longer, didn't it, said Misa, giggling from the reaction. As they nodded. That is because time doesn't really flow in there. The era is timeless. Zanjutsu mentioned something like that, but I wasn't really paying attention, said Naruto. Mifune's eyes widened at them meeting the warden. And the actual leader. No, that was something. In any case, your team is the second team to have passed so far. Seriously? Who passed before us? Asked Kurosaki. Team 10 of Konoha. The Nara mentioned something about figuring the riddle soon, so that he could sleep rather than fighting. As Naruto laughed, that sounded exactly like Shikamaru. End of flashback. The first battle ended, as Akisaki easily beat down the two-man team of Choji and Ino. Not surprised that the name Choji was always a good guy at heart, and he didn't like to fight that much. However, he fought as hard as he could to protect Ino, who was still a fangirl as far as Naruto was concerned. There's always next time, man, said Naruto. Choji grinned as he made his way to sit down next to Shikamaru, as Ino went over to Sasuke. That is one match down, said Mifune as he pointed towards a large electronic board. Now let us see who fight next. Lee versus Shino. Yes, I will fight with the power of youth on my side, said Lee. Shino made his way down there calmly. The both of them were ready. Begin, said Mifune. Lee exploded forward to meet Shino head on in taijutsu alone. Now Shino was in a bind. He knew of Lee's condition from Kurina and knew if his bugs suck. Unleashed chakra like a normal person, he will die because he had so few. And he didn't want to kill a fellow leaf ninja, as he tried to fight in taijutsu. But while skilled in his family taijutsu, he was no match for someone like Lee in taijutsu. It was all over rather quickly. Shino actually regretted not using his bug just a little. Well, there was always next time. In actuality, he was already wary that he would pass the Chunin exams. His father's stories about him, well, he figured that he needed more skills and experience. His father time here had made him thought about it. The next match was some way Hinata, Temari versus Neji. They were doing these fights to show them how unfair and how things can be turned against them if they became Chunins. They can be stuck alone and be surrounded by enemies. They had to be prepared for anything. This is gonna be interesting though. A 3-woman team, each from different villages, against the project Neji Hyuga. So who do you think will win, Kurosaki asked. Hard to say, said Naruto. From the interaction so far, it seems Neji, who's a branch member, has a large dislike for Hinata, who's a main member. Adding Samui from the hidden cloud, Neji would be rather angry given what happened between Kumo and Konoha, said Naruto. That could be in his favor if he uses rage to power his attacks correctly, or if he let them control him, Haku said. What happened between those two villages? Tenten overheard them talking as she spoke. Kumo tried to kidnap Hinata one time to gain the Hyuga bloodline, but Hinata's father killed the man in the attempt. Kumo wanted compensations for the death, and Neji's father, being a twin of Hinata's father, died in his place. Haku remains at that. Yes, this Neji would hold a lot of anger towards Kumo for that. Neji was angry in the arena. Forget about fate, this was perfect for his own type of revenge. But to make Hinata, even though he didn't like her, fight alongside someone that is responsible for his father's death, their village, it made his blood boil. He dropped into his stance. You three should give up now. I'm far better skilled than you, he said. Somehow I doubt that, said Samui. Begin, said Mifune. Neji wasted no time as he rushed. A fierceness in his eyes, he flipped over Temari. Fan strike. He kicked her square in the face in mid-air, knocking her back. He used that moment to push himself forward, using her like a springboard, moving straight towards Hinata, who saw his angry glare in his eyes looking towards her. Hinata was never that much of a fighter. Yeah, she was good in the fighting style, and she always held back not to hurt her sister, but Neji, he was a lot stronger and better than her in every way. However, there was one person that brought a bit of courage to her heart. As she glanced towards Naruto. Naruto is watching me. This might be my only chance to get him to notice me. And that was enough for her, even if it meant fighting alongside a ninja from Kumo. She met Neji head on, shocking the hell out of him as he didn't expect her to move in. The both of them engaged in a deadly dance of chakra strike. But Hinata was having some trouble fighting him, and not to mention, he was a fair bit stronger, and he was vicious. The two girls gave each other a nod, as Temari sent a blast of air towards him, forcing him to leap away. Samui shot forward, her blade coated with lightning. Hinata panicked as she looked towards her arm Neji had hit, and sealed off her points. Temari saw that. Can you still fight? Yes. But I can't end this without your help, said Hinata. Temari nodded, but inside she was rather shocked. She thought this Hyuga was going to be stuck up like the other one. But no. What do you need? If you can just distract him for a moment, I can land a well-placed strike that will immobilize him. Temari nodded as she summoned her ferret. She sent it towards Samui, who jumped back, delivering a message. Samui then launched her blade towards Neji. Seeing the slow blade coming towards him, Neji was about to blast away until Temari swung her fan, enhancing it with wing. But Neji still dodged it. Well, at least he thought he did, because he felt blood running down his cheek. It still sliced him. That pissed him off. These girls shouldn't even be touching him. His eyes glassed over with pure rage as he shot forward. But it was not Samui in his path, it was Hinata. The both of them struck at each other's hearts. Everyone went silent, shocked, wondering what happened, as no one moved. Neji then spoke. Why, he said, his voice sounded a bit weak. I know you hate me, she said. Ever since that instant, you've always hated me. And I understand somewhat. That is why I will do what I can to help you, even if it means beating you. What? Said Neji. Why would you bother to help me? I'm a part of the branch family. It's because you're family. That is why I want to help you. Her voice getting weaker with the conviction in her voice was there. I will bring the family together and get rid of the cage bird seal. Because that is my ninja way. Neji's whole perception on her just shifted a bit, maybe. He had her wrong. Another thought came to his mind. She could have easily taken him out by using the cage bird seal, and he wouldn't be able to move. but yet she didn't try to. Why? But he couldn't find out. No, he'll have to find out later, as the two of them collapsed unconscious from the strike. Her temporary teammates were able to advance, since she wanted for them, but she was knocked out of the exam. The next match was Uzumaki versus Kabuto. Naruto had a good feeling that Uzumaki would win this, but he was not that sure about Kabuto's power. Still, something was on his mind. She had glanced towards him, and he gave her courage. Why would a single glance from him help her? Sure, he was loud and obnoxious in the academy, but to draw strength from that, he was just not sure. He also doubted that she liked him that much either. Still, that last tactic of hers was a good one, but rather dangerous as well. Kurosaki though was a bit pissed off. If she could do a distraction like that in battle, could she do something like that to get Naruto in real life? She would have to keep a close eye on Hinata. Temari locked eyes with Kurosaki, then Misa and Fu, as all of them seemed to be thinking the same thing. The girl had declared her love for him. As Kabuto lost the battle to Uzumaki, but something just seemed off. Naruto didn't know what it was, but just something. It felt off. The next battle was Fu against her two teammates with Amoy on their side. But her teammates stood no chance against her. She was already stronger than both of them. And with Amoy, well, she didn't really need him at all. The same could be said for Kurosaki and Guren's battle. Guren did her best with her crystal release, but it just wasn't enough. Kurosaki beat her, but not without trouble. All Kurosaki had to do was blow up the entire place in the end. That left her in bad shape, but she still won. As Naruto was getting rather frustrated as he wondered when was he gonna fight and who it was gonna be. As he saw the scoreboard going through name once again. Please, my turn, he thought. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications as they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way. I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But I'm off for now, see you guys soon. Peace.